Hey everyone, it's Dorothy with crazyforcrust.com and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make this lemon meringue pie. This is my Aunt Tootsie's recipe. It's a family favorite. My dad's talked about it for years and today I'm going to share it with you. You're not going to want to miss it. I don't think I ever met my Aunt Tootsie, but every time I ever heard her name growing up, my dad would follow it up with, she made a great lemon meringue pie. And a few years ago, my aunt sent me a bunch of my Nana's old recipes, and one of them was the handwritten recipe from my Aunt Tootsie with her lemon meringue pie recipe. And I decided I had to make it and share it with all of you. Now, lemon meringue pie is a little bit involved. There's 3 different steps. There's crust, there's filling, and then there's meringue. So I know it can be kind of scary because making the filling involves cooking the lemon and tempering the eggs, which is like, what is tempering? And then making meringue, which is like, oh my gosh, am I gonna break it? What is soft peaks and hard peaks? But don't worry, today I'm gonna teach you all the different things that you need to know about lemon meringue pie so that you can make it for your family too. For more delicious desserts and easy recipes, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now let's get in the kitchen. We start this recipe with a pre-baked pie crust. Now you can make my all butter pie crust and pre-bake that, or you can buy one of those refrigerated packs of 2, or you can use a frozen crust, whatever you like. Just put it in your pie plate and you're going to pre-bake it according to the package directions or according to the directions in whatever pie crust recipe you're using. Be sure to check out my video on how to pre-bake a crust perfectly. Once the crust is done, just set it aside, lower your oven temperature to 300 degrees, and get started on the filling. The filling for this pie is like lemon curd, but thicker. It's an egg-based filling, so we're gonna start with 4 egg yolks. Now we need 4 egg whites for the meringue, so go ahead and separate your eggs. Make sure you get 0 yolks in the egg whites. You want plain egg whites with no yolks at all so that they make a perfect meringue. I love that this recipe uses 4 entire eggs. You're gonna use 4 egg whites for the meringue and 4 egg yolks for the filling. That way there's nothing left over that you have to figure out what to do with. To make your filling, we're gonna place a pot over medium-low heat. To the pot, you're gonna add 1½ cups of water, 1½ cups of sugar, 5 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/2 cup of fresh lemon juice, it's about 2 to 3 lemons, a tablespoon of lemon zest, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Whisk that together and you're gonna cook it, stirring often until it's boiling and thick. It's gonna take about 10 minutes depending on what heat your stovetop is at. Now, just a word of caution, once it gets thick like that. So you wanna make sure and have your egg yolks already in a bowl, whisked and ready to temper. When you're making custards or ice creams or curds, you have to add egg yolks to the hot mixture. And you want to cook the egg yolks, right? But we don't want to scramble them. So tempering is when we add a little bit of the hot mixture into the egg yolks while whisking, and then it kind of brings the egg yolks up to temperature of what's in the pot. And then we can add them back into the pot and whisk, continually whisking so that the eggs don't scramble, they just heat up slowly. So we're gonna do that, we're gonna temper our egg yolks, and then we're gonna cook this. It's gonna come to a boil, cook it for 2 more minutes just to bring the egg yolks up to temperature. Once your mixture is done cooking, remove it from the heat and add unsalted butter. Stir until the butter is melted and the mixture is smooth. Now at this point, we're gonna add it to our pie crust, but before I do that, I like to strain it because you never know what little bits of egg may have cooked or any little bits here and there that you don't want in there. So I run this through a strainer before I add it to my pie. Using a basic mesh strainer that I got at Target or the cooking store. Just run it through, use your spatula to kind of push it through. And then once it's nice and silky and smooth with no lumps or anything like that, go ahead and add it to your pie shell. Now we're gonna make the meringue topping. So cover the pie shell with plastic wrap and set it aside. You want the pie filling to stay warm while you're making the filling and you don't want it to get like a skin on top. That's why I put the plastic wrap there. And now we're gonna make our meringue topping. I'm doing this in a stand mixer with the whisk attachment, but you could also use a hand mixer. It's just gonna take you a little bit longer. Add your egg whites to your mixing bowl along with vanilla extract and cream of tartar. Now, cream of tartar is what's gonna help our meringue come together and form stiff peaks. Beat the egg whites on high speed until soft peaks form. You'll know there are soft peaks when you pull out the whisk attachment and the peaks kind of stand up but then fall over a little bit. At this point, you're gonna keep mixing and then add the sugar slowly while mixing. You're gonna mix until stiff peaks have formed. This takes about 1 to 2 minutes. It's gonna be nice and glossy and thick. You'll know that stiff peaks have formed when you take out the whisk and the peaks stand straight. Now it's time to assemble our pie. Remove the plastic wrap from your pie and then top with your meringue. Make sure that the meringue is flat with the filling so it's touching every inch of the surface of the pie and that the meringue is touching the crust all the way around. That will reduce the chances that the meringue will shrink once it cools and you won't get any of that wetness inside the pie. Just use your offset spatula or a knife to make sure there are nice swirls and little peaks on top of the pie, and then bake it at 300 degrees until the meringue is nice and golden. At this point, you're gonna let the pie cool to room temperature, about 1 to 2 hours, and then you're gonna chill it for at least 4 to 5 hours before you try and slice it. Now just a note, meringue pie like this is best the day that it's made. You can serve it for a day or two after, but it's gonna taste best the day that it's made. And there you have it, a gorgeous lemon meringue pie. This is my Aunt Tootsie's pie. I love the sweet and tartness of the lemon and the sweet cloud fluffiness of that meringue topping. I can't wait to try it. Let's taste. That lemon is really rich and thick and sweet and tart with that cloud pillowy meringue on top. This is exactly what my dad described when I was a kid. I love this pie, you guys, and I hope that you love it too. Leave me a comment and let me know any questions you have about making meringue. I know it's scary, but it's super easy. I'm gonna go finish my slice of pie while you keep watching.